All right, let's get this started. I'm a little pissed off today, just a little bit, and I have some stuff I want to get off my chest. First of all, there are people making a lot of videos talking about why you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, why you should get a job, why people like me are scamming you. We're selling you stuff that you can't need. And I'm going to differentiate myself from the rest of the herd by saying this. Since day one, I have been a principle guy versus a tactician and a tactical guy. Now, what does that mean? In my first book, Making Money A to Z with Self-Storage and Auctions, let me just throw that up there because, I'm about to go in on some of y'all. Some of y'all are like, how do you find your ebook? You know what you do? This is what you do. I'm going to show you in very quick how you find my ebook, my storage auction books. My bad, because I'm all over the place. There we go. You can go to Amazon and wow, there it is. All right, I'm in the wrong browser. Give me a second. There we go. And this is how you find my book. And I have it in the Side Hustle Starter Kit. One of the reasons I'm having this discussion is, like I said, I'm pissed. I couldn't even make it through the video. I thought it was so bad. The overall consensus of the video was, don't start a business. Be happy. You figure out what you need to do to be happy. Not only am I a business person, an entrepreneur, an author, a YouTuber, and much, much more than that, I am a social scientist. And I'm about to say something that's going to be extremely rude. The reason that most people fail is because they don't have enough motivation to push forward. It ain't about smarts. It's not about who you know. It's not about all this other stuff that people talk about that is just simply not true. It is, because I'm going to talk about in a minute why I became an entrepreneur and how it changed my life. And actually, because I'm so pissed, I wrote some stuff down to keep me on track because I will be all scattered. So why did I become an entrepreneur? That's crazy. I had to do it. I wanted to do it. I had a burning desire to make something of myself. That was my origination point. That's what got me started. That was it. I didn't want to stunt on the gram. I didn't want to be some social media genius. I had to do it, and I'll talk about that. I wanted to do it, and I wanted to make some of myself. First of all, I was born very poor. And when I say poor, I'm talking about close to third world country poor. We didn't have indoor plumbing. I say that and people like, he's just making that up. I wish I was making it up. I was so embarrassed of where I lived, I wouldn't invite friends over. That's how bad our house was. Part of that desire that was seeded in me, because I lived in a very strange place. Our house was located literally across the street from a developer named Mr. Youngblood. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know he was a developer until later in life. I did not have the savvy to know what he did. He had big dump trucks. He had earth movers. He had compactors. These are these things with all these knobs on it. You roll over the land to flatten the land. And he had a shed down there that his wife, Mrs. Youngblood, I never knew their first names. When I was a kid, it was Mr. So-and-so. You rarely knew anyone's first name if they were an adult, because you were a kid, they were an adult. So Mrs. Youngblood used to let me hang out there and help her with the garage sales. It's very interesting. So I was literally across the street from an entrepreneur. Didn't know it. Then there was this guy named Dennis Campbell, Campbell's Pharmacy. He used to let me hang out in his store, another entrepreneur. And then there was Simmons Machinery around the corner. The two helicopters, the pilot took me up. So I got showcased that if I wanted to have a better life, I needed to be an entrepreneur. Even though at that time I was just like, I need to be the man. That's what we called them. We didn't call them business owners. We didn't call them hustlers. It was, oh, this guy can write a check. I want to be the guy who can write a check. They had the things I wanted. Campbell used to go on these safaris, these big game hunts where he would go and shoot these animals and mount them. And I had no clue to how expensive that was. Let me show you something really, really quick. I want you just to see, because we're going to do this together. We're going to be together, man. How much is it to go on a safari? All right. Let's see. All right, so it's $800 to $1,000 per night. That's some special. Let's see, how much is it to go to a safari and let me clean it up. Big game safari. Here we go. This is in today's dollars, but $66,000, well, $67,000 cost of a successful 14-day hunt for a white rhino with trophy fees. A 10-day hunt for Cape buffalo cost $16,000 with trophy fees. A 10-day hippo hunt, they hunt hippos? I didn't know they hunted hippos. Cost $12,000 to $52,000, cost of a 21-day lion safari. All right. This was the late 70s and 80s, and he was doing this stuff. Man also was married with 3 kids. You know how much he had to be flowing to be doing that type of stuff? I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be flowing. I wanted to have the ability to live like that. So it was a very, very important thing for me. Now, I was going to say some names. I was actually going to do some, but I'm not going to break my protocols, because let me tell you a little story. There was the story of this fisherman, and there was this rich guy on the island on vacation, and this fisherman would bring him fish, and he would pay him. And the businessman was saying, well, you need to scale up your fishing operation, and you need to do this, you need to do this. And then the fisherman kept going, why? Why should I do this? Why should I do this? So the guy said, so you can sit back and retire and do whatever you want. And the fisherman said, I'm already doing what I want. So long story short, the businessman was trying to teach the fisherman how to get back to where he was already at. You know how old that story is? 40, 50 years. I heard that story in the video today. And people were like, I love that story. And I'm just sitting there like, don't you motherfuckers read? That is an old story. Then I came back and I was like, you know what? We're going to make a different kind of stream. We're going to make a different kind of video. We're going to talk about this from a different perspective. We're going to talk about this from a black person perspective. Now, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know I don't even get into all that. But if you are a black man, if you are a black woman, your ass needs to start a business. There ain't no middle game. There ain't no, well, maybe possible. No. You need to start a business. You know why? There's not enough of us black business owners to, I mean, seriously, when people see me, they're like, I saw Bigfoot. Was that the Yeti? Was that the Loch Ness Monster? That's such a strange sighting to see a black businessman. And once again, I'm not talking about these rappers. I'm not talking about these athletes. I'm talking about a bona fide person who has a business, who offers a service, who makes money. It ain't that many of us, and that is a travesty. If you want some respect, get your economics first. I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is one I never thought I would be telling. But there was this guy, we used to call him Snowball. We were friends until one day he fucked me. And we had this war. I was lighting into him. I was losing money. I didn't care. I was like, you're not going to win today because you fucked me. So we were going toe to toe to toe. Then he gets mad because he gets the unit, but he paid way too much. And there was some more units, and I was like, let's go. I may go broke today. I don't care, but you ain't getting nothing easy. So he gets into it with Sonya. Then he cusses Sonya out because he's mad at me. He can't cuss me out because I'm 6'1". At the time, I was about 250, solid as a rock. He couldn't fuck with me on the physical level, and he was catching hell fucking with me on an economic level. Oh yeah, and for those of you who don't like the cussing, fuck you. Leave the channel, go find some weak, mealy-mouthed person to listen to who has no experience, who's never started a business, who has not fought white people and won economically. Go find them. Ain't that many. So he cusses Sonya out. Sonya is a redhead. She comes up to me because, you know, she was kind of like Switzerland. She was trying to stay out of it. And she's like, are you going to light him up every unit? I said, yes, I am. She said, good. He's dead to me. So she starts lighting him up. So now he's got two of us because now we have aligned. And this went on not for a week. This can go on for a month. This went on for years. This was a blood feud. So Sonya and I started trading and working together. And until this day, if he was to see me, he would walk around and go the other way and cuss under his breath. Snowball was a white man. See, there's a lot of y'all who are afraid of white people. I ain't afraid of white people. I ain't afraid of Asians. I'm not afraid of Europeans, German. I will compete with anybody in any fucking playing field. And this is the mindset you need to get. Because this shit that I saw today, it is aimed, because once again, I know this guy. He's selling something, but he's very sophisticated. He's very smooth. Because these people who are listening to this story for the first time in their lives because they're 20 and 30 years old, and they don't read, they don't study history. So this story is like brand new and remarkable to them, right? The story is 50 years old. What you need to do, if you're a black person, you need to get you some economics. You need to get you some fucking economics. Don't go past go unless you're getting some economics. All right. While failure is important, it's going to be the best lessons you're going to ever learn. You're never going to forget these hard-won lessons. Forges an iron will. Toughens your mental state, preps you for success. So let's break this up. So you go out here and you do something, and this is why most people don't win in business. They'll go out and they'll do something they have no experience in, that's going to cost money. Then they got to make money. Then they got to support themselves. It isn't that entrepreneurship is bad. It's most people approach entrepreneurship with the worst intentions. You know what the biggest intentions are? I'm going to start a business so I can have more free time. I'm going to start a business so I can be the boss. I'm going to start a business so I don't have to listen to anybody. That is so far from the truth. All of the folks in H undergrad are my bosses. I got a few hundred of them. They pay me every month. I got to serve them. Those are my bosses. See, many of you got this entrepreneur game wrong. I'm CEO, bitch. I'm the boss. You ain't nobody without customers. You're nobody without customers. Nobody. And this is why I've hired someone to work on the customer service to improve it, because going back to why failure is important. When you fail, these are some valuable lessons, but because most people are wimps, simps, and weak ass motherfuckers, I failed. I can't do this no more. Big Mama told me not to do it. Little John told me not to do it. I'm going to go out and get me a good government job with some benefits. Yeah, those are your fucking coons. Those right there are your fucking coons. Because the African slaves that freed themselves in Haiti, South America, and Jamaica, they were fucking heroes. And if you notice, when they come over here, they're seen to be extremely successful because they regale in the DNA of their strong ancestors. So once again, you need to start a business. Now, the best lessons. Reason I was able to handle Snowball is because I went up against Bobby. Bobby was my prep for playing that game. Because see, when you play the game like that, when you spend your money, you find out what's real and what's not real. There is nothing more competitive than you bidding at auction. Either you're going to lose or you're going to win. There ain't no middle ground. Bid, I got the unit. Bid, I didn't get the unit. It's very primal. So I go through this with Bobby. I develop a little bit of a reputation because Snowball, he didn't know how much money I had until he pissed me off. And I called up my partner. I said, we ain't gonna make no money this week. I am gonna fight with this fool. And she's like, well, we've got all this stuff, so okay. Fine, I understand. Last time you did this, after it calmed down, we made a lot of money. Do what you need to do. I found out he didn't have as much money as I thought he did. You know why? Because I tested his pockets. It's called competition. We need to become a competitive people, not a get along people, not a nice people. Because once again, this video, this was made for privileged, entitled, whiny ass white people. Because I'm like listening to this shit and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But I read. I've started a successful business. I know what it takes to make money. So this was just drivel to me, and I couldn't make it through. I couldn't make it through halfway because he's setting up to sell a product. But those lessons you learn, they stick with you for life. When you can take an L, you can get your ass kicked, and you get up, and all right, let's go. Your lip busted, your eye swollen, but you still got some fight. And you're going to lose that fight, but you're going to represent yourself very well because the next fight, you're going to be like, okay, I did this last time. Well, I need to do it this time. And next thing you know, you don't get beat up. It's a stalemate. Then the next fight, you win. Success is not a linear line of point A to point B. That's what most people want, and it just isn't like that. Because I've been reevaluating my business. And part of the problem, part of the problem is I have been too honest. So I need to be even more honest. If you think that you're going to buy a course, you think that you're going to listen to some YouTube videos, you think that you're going to become a bona fide business owner, this is someone who makes money, show me the results. We've talked about income. Who here doesn't want more income? If all of this free information, because see, the problem is it's tactical. It's not driven in principles. A principle is to serve the customer to the best of your ability. That's a principle. A tactic is Well, if you do this and you use this keyword until the platform gets tired of people using that keyword, it'll work. Principles last forever. Tactics are temporary. The T in tactic is temporary, and 90% of the stuff on the internet is a tactic. There was someone who was selling a lot of drop shipping courses and immediately stopped selling them. You want to know why? Trump's tariffs. When Trump's tariffs kicked in, you notice you start seeing all these people talking about drop shipping. Now, if they're in another country where the tariffs don't matter, they're still talking about it. But U.S.-based drop shippers? And this person used to be big in it, and he's just instantly stopped and changed a new leaf and became like reborn. It's bullshit. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. So when you become and get into principles, you become so powerful because principles don't change. Tactics do. All right. So this is how it preps you for success, because after you go through all that bullshit, you ain't the same person. You need to be a little crazy to be an entrepreneur. You can't go through all this shit and come out sane. There ain't no fucking way you gonna come out sane. And this is the part that most people have a problem with. That I call it the gauntlet, the trials of Hades, whatever it is, whoever you are, if you're going to start a business, this is going to happen to you. And if you weather the gauntlet, on the other side, there's virgins, there's oasis, there's all these gardens of fruits and vegetables. There's so many wonderful things. But that gauntlet, it can be like this or it can be like that. Because everybody's got to walk their own journey in this life. Everyone has to walk that walk, talk that talk. And I don't know how long your journey is going to be. My journey was 3 fucking years when I was in that boarding house. I didn't have no money. I didn't have no skills. It was make me or break me. And this is why people were always like, hey, smoke a little weed. Get a little of this rock. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. You want to know why? I felt that I was in such a despondent state that if I had started that, I would be addicted to this day. I would be an addict. And the only thing I had to keep me going, and oh yeah, let's talk about this too. The color of your mentors should not matter. There's some other silly shit going around on YouTube. You don't need to listen to someone who looks like you to learn from this person. That is comfort. If you gotta be comfortable to receive some information, you're going to miss out on 80% of the information out there. I go to Stormfront. Stormfront is a white, it's the Klan, white nationalists. You know, I've learned so much shit there because when they're not calling people jungle buddies or mud sharks, they have some deep ass conversations. Would I want to have lunch with any of these motherfuckers? Absolutely not. But can I learn from these motherfuckers? Absolutely yes. I go a lot of places. I used to listen to talk radio just to see what they were doing. This is how I could tell you Neil Bortz, I could tell you when he changed. Rush Limbaugh, I could tell you when he changed. After they got these big national syndicated contracts, they went ultra conservative. Neil Bortz used to be, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And I liked him back then. And Rush Limbaugh, if it was wrong, it was wrong. Then all of a sudden, $70 million a year contract, he changed. Because racism sells in America. I mean, look who's president. It works. Now, let's talk about the whole get a job, be an entrepreneur. Anybody can get a bullshit job. Now, let's talk about, because see, this is where I have a problem with this argument, you know, go out and get a job versus starting your own business. Okay, let's go to the Google machine. Follow me. All right. So we're going to go look for some jobs. And we're going to look for some jobs that have middle class income. Let's see. Computer security salary. A cybersecurity analyst, a late career experience, which includes employees with greater than 20 years. That's 100K. Once again, that's middle class income. So we'll go here. So they do 76. So average salary 76 plus they get a commission. I don't know how that works. I'm not in that interest. So let's talk about this. So that's a good paying job. Let's go back to database designers. All right. Woo! 82,000. Now, this is one of the reasons that they have these HB2 visas, I believe, whatever they call, because we don't have enough homegrown talent to fill these jobs. Now, let's talk about that. All right. So to go out and get a grown-up job that makes you grown-up money, you got to have some skills. They have these positions. Let's see. Let's go back to the Google machine. All right. Is there a shortage of people for software jobs? Is there really a shortage of software developers? Let's see. All right. So there doesn't seem to be a shortage there. There's a shortage of 25-year-old developers more skilled than John or Grace Hopper. Okay. So there's a ton of these jobs. Let's see. Is there a shortage of electricians? Let's go electrical engineers. Oh, a shortage of electrical engineers was age discrimination. Now, this is some that we're going to talk about. I'm going to come back to this. All right. If you are late 40s, early 50s, and your corporate ticket is not punched, they're going to get rid of you. They're going to get rid of you. You know why? Because you're at a point where your salary is so high, and they will hire someone for significantly less for 80% of the results that you can get them. 80%, 75% is good enough. So you're gone. If you start a business, are you going to fire yourself because you got old? Are you? Are you going to get rid of yourself? I don't think so. I'm 52 years old. I've never fired myself from a business. I've shut businesses down and started another one. Because once you get into the habit of this business lifestyle, you can't go back to a job unless it's just some fantastical once-in-a-lifetime type job. You just can't do it. All right, so back to the Google machine. So all of these jobs I'm pointing to, you pay what I call grown folks money, an average salary of 80 to 100K for a single person. And they have a career ladder where you can do certain things and make even more money. We have immigrants being bussed into this country because we don't have enough people to fill these jobs. So what is the difference between getting a real job like that and starting a business? Or what should I say is the commonality? You got to learn some new skills. People who start businesses based upon the current skill sets they have frequently do very well, which will bring you up to, there was this one guy, he had this lady who was doing a testimony for his course. And this is one of the little gotcha tricks that you should look out for. If you have someone who has a solid technical background, then you give them a few business principles, they usually will take off because this person was well liked. A lot of people liked her. A lot of people were waiting in line to give her money once she hung up her own shingle. Then she took this course and it blew up. That's when preparedness meets opportunity. Because this is one of the things, and this is something that I've gone through several times, and it's a struggle. Why does student X do better than student D? What is different about student X? I've had this, and I've talked about this before. I've had people go through the course and like, man, this is the best thing ever. And I've had people like, how do I log in? It's crazy. Let me see what y'all talking about. Because once again, this whole notion that I think part of this is happening is because the economy is shifting and there will not be this easy money out here for people to buy these bullshit courses. You know, if you're making money and you spend $500,000, you know, the Amazing Selling Machine sells for $4,000 or $5,000 plus there's some upper tiers, and people will spend this money, take the course, and quit it after a month and not ask for a refund. That's about to go away because we're moving toward a society that is becoming very results oriented. If you're a successful business person, and we're coming to a society that's like a mob of you're successful, so you should give to me because this income inequity bullshit. I sit back and I think about this because there's about 2,600 billionaires in the world, and they control 67% of the world's resources. And there's this space where you can literally make millions of dollars a year and not even get anywhere near what they're doing. Who here wants to make millions of dollars per year? Who here, if in 3 years you went from what you're currently making to $1 million a year in gross income, how would your life change? All right, so let's go through this because we got a lot to cover. There's a big difference between a job and a business. We just went over that. Similarities: if you want high, big money, you need high, big money skills. Whether you're a business owner or an employee, just getting a job, just making $50,000, $60,000 a year, being loaded up with student loan debt, you're elking out an existence, living on credit. You poor, you don't even know it. All right. On the job, you can coast. And this is a big issue because when you have a business, you got to perform. You can't like coast with a business, but with a job, you can coast. That's a big difference. B, with a job, you can leave at the end of the day. See you. I'm out of here. I'm about to go kayaking. I'm about to go walk my dog. But the person who started the business is still in his office working. But because you're part of the organization, you feel like you deserve half the money because you're just there, coasting. Jobs are disposable. And this is the thing, this is the risk you run when you hire someone. They may find a better date. You know, you've taken them out, you served them steak, paying them well. Then they're like, well, Big Dick Johnny over here is going to pay me 15 more and he's got a bigger dick. Bye. Now, no one who's an employee has a problem with that. It's like, I'm going to go over here to Big Dick Johnny, get this money, get this big dick. But when the market shifts and then the employers have that advantage, it's unfair. It's wrong. These employers are playing games on us. Oh. If you want to own the business, you're going to have to leave that shit where it is. That is some weak, namby-pamby bullshit. And the other thing, you don't have to do your best. When you have a job, you don't have to do your best to get paid. The better you do with your business, the more money you make. You have an inherent, built-in factor for doing your best. Once again, if you're building a real business, not a tactical business, because Amazon FBA, that's tactical. You could take the most successful Amazon FBA person and say, okay, I want you to take this over here, your skill sets, and I want you to run this cupcake business. They would fail because Amazon does much of the heavy lifting. All they got to do is plug this in, plug this in, plug this in. And I got to admit that for the people who make the most money, they're very good at plugging stuff in. But if you take Amazon away, a lot of them going to drown. That's not a real business person to me. Many people disagree. I don't care. To me, the people who are making the most money off of Amazon FBA are the people who sell Amazon FBA courses. There's a guy, Kevin David. He's 28 years old. He just bought a $3 million house. His course, I think it's like $1,200 and he has a brilliant marketing campaign. He's doing all right selling courses. Would he have been able to buy that $3 million house if he was selling on Amazon? Probably not. Probably would, he could probably get a nice house, but not a $3 million house in California with an oceanfront view. No. That ain't happening. But he's in the right space because I knew I was taking a risk by not talking about Amazon because, once again, I've had a lot of issues with it. A lot of people have issues with it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I know how to do it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go over here in this other direction. Let's see what we got going on here. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. I just saw that video and got mad. I got other stuff I need to be working on. What's up, people? Auto Leisure. Is buying at thrift stores still a viable source to build capital in the consideration? Love your work. Appreciate you. This is my opinion on resale. Resale is a outstanding way to learn how to get into the business game. But it's hard because everybody's into it now. So you're going to have to be a very skilled technician to make serious money with resale. Because if you notice, anyone that starts a YouTube channel who's doing eBay, they come up with a course. I sell courses. I know how much money you can make from a course. So there it is. Black Hawk Surface can use Rick James in every thumbnail from now on. I had another video planned for that thumbnail, but it felt appropriate because Rick James started doing music because he wanted to do music. And Rick James just lost his damn mind. Rick James was holding women, doing whatever. It's like, you're now a slave. No, let me go. Psh, take this Rick James dick. Rick just got out of control. But Rick James money, Rick was one of the highest paid musicians of his era. Doing it Rick James way. She's a super freak. Rick was a bad boy. He just got consumed by his success. What's up, Keenan Savage? Crep Junkie TV, what's going on? Thank you, Kai-san. Hey, what's up, Nick? Are you going to, is that social media world? No. I may not even be at Vid Summit this year. I got so much going on. Crep Junkie. See, this is what I'm talking about when people think they know rich people. I didn't know this guy was as wealthy as he was. And let's be really clear. He started the pharmacy and he owned the pharmacy. He was an independent pharmacist and he set up about 3 or 4 of them. Probably in 1980 something, he was doing 2 or 3 million a year. Translated to today's dollar, that's like 10 million a year. He was rolling. What up, Butte Wayne? Erica Williams, no one reads. No, they don't read. Because I'm sitting here listening to this story. I was like, that story's 50 years old. Erica Williams, you could literally quote books all day long. Really, because the thing is, millennials don't read. And you could tell them anything, and they'll buy it. What's up, Nate S., Cedric, Excalibur? Nick, if you want to learn how to do YouTube, check out Nick Nimen's channel. I am thinking about coming to Thailand. He lives in Thailand. He really lives in Thailand for real. And we may hook up. Man, Keelan, I got mad. I was just sitting there because the thing is, when you get into this entrepreneur life, like when I drive home and I drive through this neighborhood with multi-million-dollar houses, there is a sense of satisfaction that I cannot state. When I roll up my long-ass driveway into my garage, there's a sense of satisfaction and peace and comfort and achievement. When I just want to take a day off in the middle of the day and take a nap, and I can, there's just peace and satisfaction there. And none of this would have been possible if I did not get into this entrepreneur game. None of it. Nick Niven, I'm not afraid of it. That's funny. All right, Ricardo. Eric Williams. At SouthX by Southwest, you're an investor or you have company folks letting you into all kinds of events, but start talking and realize you make more than frat boy businesses. Tyron Spear, who I had on the channel a few times, he had that wake-up call when he was meeting with people. If I named them, you would know who they are, and he made more money than they did. What's up, Dorothy Solomon? It's very much a shark world. What's up, B&HO Innovations? No, Ben, you can't. You couldn't be a millionaire with free stuff in 10 years. I started to get better traction in my business when I started spending money on going to events and stuff. I mean, you can't do this by yourself. There's a few people, the Elon Musk of the world, to start $3 billion companies. You know how hard that is? And even he had a nervous breakdown. Tyra Gibson, yes, principles are forever. Oh, man. There ain't no recession. All these stores are closing. This is something else I wanted to show you. Hold on a minute. Thanks for bringing the store closings up. Okay. So let's get into how much commerce is done in the U.S. Okay. All right. How much business is done in the USA? Trying to find something here. Okay. How much small business contribute? Here we go. Let's see. You know what? Okay, hold on. This is taking me some work because you got to put in the right stuff in the Google machine. How large is the American? Here we go. All right, we've hunned this down. Okay. So the American economy, and this is everything, this is you selling stuff, is 19.39 trillion. This is everything, right? And how much did Amazon make in 2018? All right. So Amazon made 118 billion. Let's just say 119 billion. Okay, and the U.S. economy is 19 trillion. All right, I'm doing this for a reason. If you didn't know, 1 trillion is more than 119 billion. So this notion that everybody's going online and Amazon, no. Amazon only has 50% of online sales. So if they did 118 billion, so let's say all online sales were $250 billion. $250 billion is still way less than 1 trillion. See what I'm saying here? Because when all these stores are closing, it's not because Amazon is taking their money. There's something bigger and more systematic going on. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. It ain't Amazon that's the reason that these stores are closing. And these other, and because Amazon has 50%, so everyone else has the other 50%, that's 200. There's something else that's going on in the economy, and you guys need to be aware of it. All right. Oracle. Yeah, I mean, mentors can be anybody, because there's a lot of people that if you're not a millennial, they ain't gonna listen to you. I have found great value and wisdom in old people. Old people are just a wealth of knowledge about any and everything, but you know, they ain't a millennial, so I ain't gonna listen to them. It's kind of stupid. That's why I go to Chinese and foreign websites to learn. Floyd Henson. Yeah, you can learn from anyone. If you just, this is the thing, if you're going to learn from a controversial source, just keep it to yourself, because people can't, they just can't absorb that. What's up, Led? Hey, no, that shit pissed me off. I mean, I understand why he did it, because the thing is, you have a lot of people out here who are attempting to be tactical entrepreneurs. Tactical entrepreneurs are going to take tactics that they've learned from online courses and people and then implement them into the marketplace. But this is the problem. When you're driven by tactics and everyone's using the same tactics, the tactics don't work so well anymore. And that's what's happening. That's why I think he's taking this turn, because he was one of the biggest social media Ferrari driving. And I'm just sitting there like, well, look at you. You've turned a brand new leaf. Just look at you. You're so shiny and brand new. I don't believe it. I think you're still full of bullshit. All right, Christian. All right, short chain, work on your hustle. All right, let's see. Let's go back. Oh man, all right. Man, this jump like it's never jumped before. All right. Oh, energy sector is bumping, man. That's why when the rest of the country was in the recession, Texas wasn't in the recession. A lot of people don't even know that. Butte influencer huge right now. Mark this day in your calendar, because influencers have lost their natural minds. Corporations are going to start creating their own influencers, aka the soap opera, because let's say I know one influencer, actually a friend, and they got like 1.5 million to do something for this company. For 1.5 million, someone can hire me and create a show that not only gets them traction for just this short duration of their contract, because the contract was only for like 5 months, 1.5 million for 5 months. That 1.5 million could be used to spend, hire, and create people that will create a social media type project that will get them money for years. And a lot of people are waking up to that. So be careful, because a lot of the people here on YouTube are going the influencer route. And right now it's cake. But one day, and this is how it always happens. One day the money's there. Then the next day it's not there. It's just like someone turned water off. This is how it always happens. Josh Barr, people want to live that laptop lifestyle and not make 100K and not get their hands dirty. You know, you can actually do that. It's just not going to stay that way for long. Probably a year or two. I would be much happier. That's funny. Good Lord. Quentin Jackson, Rick James, James Brown, George Clinton had life-changing money, but they lost their minds. Do you think it was because of lack of purpose for the money? No, I don't think that was it at all. I think that they didn't have mentors. I mean, when Rick James, George Clinton, and James Brown got that, they had nobody to talk to. At one point, James Brown was the highest paid entertainer in the fucking world. Who you gonna talk to? You're just gonna do what your natural inclination will direct you. You now, because once again, look at all the NBA players, NFL players who now have mentors, and these guys are coming in and they're saving their money. It's like, I don't know how long I'll be here, so I'm saving 50% of my salary. I'm saving 90% of my salary. I live in an apartment. I drive a Honda. So this is what happens when people go before you and you're like, okay, young buck, you need to do this, you need to do this, you do this. And they're listening, which is a great thing. Eric Williams, I know exact video you're talking about. The guys were mind blown in the chat. Old ass. I was like, man, didn't even tell it right either. What's up, Kirby? Tech, real estate, and business. Ra L. Many blacks hate entrepreneurs, especially black ones, because they're free while they're secretly attacking other online at work, hoping they don't get caught up by their white boss. Gangsta typing online. I have felt that. Sierra Lives, e-commerce is only 10% of total retail activity. So all these stores closing, it's not going online. That means that the economy is losing money. There ain't no recession, though. It ain't coming. Trust me, it ain't coming. You heard it here. I am just being facetious as I want to be. Eric Williams, 37 million credit cards, 90 days late, 7 million car late. And see, the thing is, that 7 million on the cars, people will let credit cards go because they ain't going to do anything to you. But the car, the vehicle that you need to get to work to make money, that's something serious. What's up to Upstart Development? CR2 lives, these numbers. Yeah, Amazon, I've been saying this for years. People like, it's all going, no. You know what's funny, since we're talking about Amazon? My purchasing on Amazon has dropped each year for the last 5 years. I think I've bought 2 things from them this year. And I used to be a heavy Amazon buyer. A lot of their stuff is just crap. Ooh, Rael. Exactly, Erica Williams. A bad economy is the Black Friday for wealth people. Absolutely. Sitting in the wings and waiting? Yep. RL, a lot of stores are closing because of bad management or their business model is outdated. A lot of that is the big D word, debt. They overexpanded and they got caught with their pants down. If they were smaller businesses, they would still be in business with a healthy cash flow. Let's see, we just jumped. All right. So, Black Caesar, hey coach. When we were watching the reply videos that went live earlier, because I haven't set them up. That is not YouTube, that's me. Monkey see, monkey do, that's funny. Eric Williams, yeah, seems to be ranting the last. That's, all right, let me tell you what he's doing. You notice the funky music he's playing? That's part of, God, what is it? Subconscious marketing. There's a reason that he's playing this creepy ass music right now. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's go to the Google machine. See, I'm a nerd. I've been studying this stuff for years. So let's go to subliminal marketing. Yeah. Instead of, let's see, in contrast, other countries do have specific laws in place concerning subliminal marketing. Britain and Australia, for example, ban subliminal marketing for any reason. Here in the United States, this was a big, big thing. What whiskey companies would do is, let's say you had, let me see if I can find this, because it's really powerful. This is why it's been outlawed. All right, subliminal marketing pictures. All right. Now, here's a good one. Kind of looks like Africa, right? Or it could be a man talking to a kid. This is the, this isn't the bad stuff, but yeah. Okay, here's one. It shows boobs. I mean, the stuff that they have done. Let's see. This is why I do not watch a lot of television, because they would do it. And this is a woman, hair down, boobs up. Well, going back many years ago, this whiskey company had a glass, it had whiskey being poured into a glass. But if you really looked at the image, the swirls in the whiskey looked like a dick. I mean, it was clear. And you receive information consciously, and you receive a lot more information subconsciously. So part of the reason for the creepy music is, let's see, I'll actually give you some good stuff here. Hold on. Baroque music. Learning. All right. So let's go here. Baroque music, such as composed by Bach, Handel, or Telemann, that is 50 to 80 beats per minute, creates an atmosphere of focus that leads the students into deep concentration in the alpha wave state. Learning vocabulary, memorizing facts, or reading the music is highly effective. So that's a more mundane version of it. But there's a reason he's playing that music. That Lambo is not going to leave. Yeah, I've tried to post on Facebook today and it wouldn't happen, so I went back to work. Thousand people a day move to Texas. Wow. I know Atlanta used to have 10,000 people a month move here and 6,000 would move out. So we would have a net increase of about 4,000 people. I don't know what it is now. Oh, really? Butte Wayne, successful influencers of celebrity kids that also got into good colleges. You know this whole scam thing, the scandal, there ain't nothing new. Rich people have been doing this since there's been college. Like, so-and-so would donate $2.5 million to build this wing and their grandson would get in. It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. It's gonna keep going on. Kirby. All right. It just jumped like crazy. Kirby Frank, I see young entrepreneurs use exotic cars and lavish hotels to lure people into buying their courses. But before that, didn't they have the skill set to make money? Let me tell you why they use Lambos. Who are buying these courses? Kids. What young male doesn't want a Lamborghini? I mean, that's it. They're selling these courses to young males. The Amazing Selling Machine has a more mature market, you know, hence the price. But that's why they use these cars, because they work. Here's this kid with hair gel, like, hey man, you know, I started this Amazon FBA thing, and you know, I made 100,000, and you know, now I got a Lambo, and I got a trust, and I got all this stuff, and it sounds so seductive. It sounds so good. Even if you're suspicious as hell, you're just like, but what if it's true? Click, and they buy it. Oh, Amazon is doing some amazing stuff. Right, our business is the biggest rabbit hole you will go into because business is always changing. It forces you to look at yourself and those around you and forces you to make tough decisions. Yeah, because if you ain't making money, you got to fire people. That's a tough decision. Man, don't get me started on the keyboard warriors. You know, Etsy went through some troubles, but Etsy's really a good business. Buying and so I bought some stuff on Etsy recently. It seemed pretty straightforward to me. Black Caesar, gee, when you used to work for an employer, how do you stay motivated to your own hustle and getting business off of the ground? Because after working 12 hours a day, I'm exhausted. Well, here's the thing. After I was like Neo. I got regurgitated out of the matrix. I was in a state where I was working bullshit jobs for almost 2.5 years. So I had plenty of time. I didn't have no money. I had no skills. I was living in a very desperate situation. But I had plenty of time. And one of the things, to my credit, is I read a lot. So I didn't waste that time. I don't know what it's like, because it's been so long, to have a job. Because, you know, well, just long story short, when I got to boarding house, I worked for Rent-A-Crate for a few months. Then I worked for Panel Systems Unlimited for a few months. Then I worked for Business Environments for a few months. And then after I left them, I had my own business. I had a plan, because after I got fired or let go, same difference. After I was the best salesman, I was like, hard work does not really matter. Hard work really doesn't matter. Not at all. And that put me on a whole completely different trajectory. So I started getting jobs to get skills so I could do my own thing. So I had 3 hops and I was out. Yep. There's a reason. The upstart development, you know it. Oh, subliminals, very real. Yeah, I learned about this in high school. I was reading this book, and it was talking about examples of subliminal advertising. And in the swirls of the Coke or the whiskey, there would be all these sexual type suggestions. Because I'm going to ask a personal question. How many of y'all have had sex sober? I ask because there are some people who have never had sex sober. And that's going to be something for the other channel. You had a Lambo? I don't know anything about day trading. Leslie, that's right. They know the target audience that they're after. All right. I mean, there's so many things. It's just I saw that, and I wanted to do my own long winding rant on this, because if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to be real with yourself. You're going to have to be real with your limitations. And I tried to be an entrepreneur when I had a job. I tried 5 times. It never worked. And it didn't work because I had a job. It didn't work because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. There is such a difference when you have a grasp on how things really work. You got to make yourself more valuable, because, you know, this is what, like next week, and I'll talk about it probably tomorrow, because I'm still putting it together. But we're going to do these modules, and it's going to be titled How to Start an Online Business. And it's not going to be like how to do some FBA and bullshit like that. It's going to be, let's say you want to sell t-shirts online. This course will help you. Say you want to start a personal brand online. This course will help you, because there are similar things that each one of these online businesses have. Number one, your audience in your marketplace. Who's in your audience? Who's your targeted market? Is it growing? Is your market growing, or is your market dying? This is a question that many people who do these courses never ask themselves. And it is one of the most important questions. Moneyincomeandprofit.com. Why am I building that? Well, I've done the research. In 10, 15 years, most people are going to be self-employed or be a 1099. Many people are going to be forced to run their business like a business. They ain't going to eat. So I'm getting ready for them. Plus, there's some other stuff. Thank you, Black Caesar. You know, I'm kind of a gas guy, but the Teslas, like the SUV they have, is pretty sweet. But we will see. But the thing is, like Leslie, they know the target audience they're after. This is why they have the Lambos. This is why they're always in the beach. This is why they're always in Bali. Right now, there's someone having a conference, and they're going to sell in the back of the room, and they're going to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K today. I showed you all this stuff because everyone thinks that, you know, because we're going to be talking about online businesses and how you can leverage that into a lot of different stuff. This is why I'm taking me some time to write this up. Oh, let's talk about something. Is this over here? Kirby Frank, Glenn, I'm not going to lie. I was almost seduced to buying into those gurus, but it's funny because they never show bank statements, unlike your stuff, because it's real, no flashy shit. Appreciate it. Rick Queston, I'm enrolled. All the courses are at the bottom, and there's no new stuff there, but we'll talk about that. They can't afford to live well in the USA. Let me show y'all something. It's going to probably give me. All right, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can bring this up, because we're going to talk about online businesses for a second. Is it going to be Spotlight? No. It's going to be Finder. Aha! Cool. All right. And I'm going to show y'all something. And it's going to have everything to do with online businesses. And I'm going to explain to you what happened and how it happened. Let's turn on the sound. Okay, cool. These are screenshots of all of the losers. I call them the hustlers, kung fu losers. These are the people who are pissed off at me for sending them emails who got the 19 free courses. There's a lot of them. Because what they'll do, actually, I started being an asshole. I sent a few people. I was like, well, you've lost access to the 19 courses. You want to be off this list? Fine. And I like, wait a minute. I had 19 free courses. Yes, you did. That you never opened up. The reason I'm showing y'all this is how you fuck up an email list. By giving away good and valuable information for free. Let me say this again. This is how you fuck up an email list. I am not going to import this old email list because it's so corrupted. Because what'll happen is I'll import the old email list into the new email client. And then once I send out my first email, all these motherfuckers are going to jump off and they're going to fuck up my email list. So anyone that wants to say, hey, you need to do free, I'm going to say, kiss my ass. This is the first time that I ever tried to do something like this. And here it is, 4 years, and it's still fucking with me because one of the things I can do is send emails through the course, and apparently they can't unsubscribe. So they're like, take me off the list. Stop sending me this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll take them off the list and just keep it moving. This is why most people are not going to be successful. They're looking for success in all of the wrong places. They're looking for success to be easy, to be recognizable. Success is often covered in shit. Yes, the things that you can do to be successful are often hard. And this is why I think that most people will not be successful in their business. Is not because they couldn't be. It's because they don't want to put in the work. A lot of people, to a business owner, are lazy. When all the stuff you have to do as a business owner, then you have someone talking about they left their job and complaining about all they got to do. You just kind of laugh. He's like, dude, you had it easy today. I did more shit between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. than you did all day. And I still got, 8 more hours to go. There's this notion of having personal freedom to do what you want. Let me tell you how you get personal freedom. You help a bunch of other people get what they want. That's how you can get some personal freedom. But yeah, I call out the HK. Every time someone hits me up, I get like 20, 30 a day. Take me off this list. Stop sending me this stuff. This email is dampening my spirits. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn how to make no money. I want someone to give me some money. I don't want to work. I don't want to do none of that. None of those people will ever be successful. I can guarantee you. It is the weirdest thing. And Upstart Development, I know Sam. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm telling you, they're going to be launching a product together. It's coming. It's hustle porn. Gooniest girl, how to avoid trading time for money with a service business. Hire employees. Until you get to the point where you hire employees, you will always be trading time for money. What's up, Victoria? The name is, but Sam is at least using the office in his videos. Sam's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. Sam went after not everyone. He went after business owners, and that's why he made so much money. Black Caesar, are you kidding me? I always have sex sober. No Quaaludes, no. Man, you will be surprised. Uber, Eric Williams, one dude comes to U.S., rents a car and Uber, DoorDash, Lyft for 3 weeks, then travels for 2 months. Oh, man. Let's see. I'm going through some stuff. What's up, Chris Monroe? Ben the bartender. We got all kind of new people up here. Goonies girls, even if you have a payroll to pay people, you still have to manage. And that's something that no one really talks about. Managing people is a resource unto itself. One of the reasons that I shut everything down and started in the new was I didn't have time to do my shit. Because I was like making sure that other people were doing their jobs. Because the thing is, especially with millennials, you gotta put your thumb on their necks. Not all of them, but a good many of them. You gotta be like, step 1, step 2, step 3. That shit gets old. Everyone that has working for me now is 45 to 55. I don't have those problems. Oh no, man. Like I said, I just do it to remind me never to do that dumb shit again. But he doesn't have an apartment or car, but go back to Southeast Asia to live big. Let me tell you what's going to happen to all of these people who are traveling the world. As long as you're 20-something, it's cool. But the minute you get in your 30s, even if you don't have kids, you're going to want to set up roots. This is a natural human tendency. There are very few people who can travel the world all day of years and years and years and not get tired of that stuff. Let's see. Goonies girls, any thoughts, products, or service-based business, or turning service into a product and apps? Okay, if you don't have $100K to $1 million, forget about an app. Seriously. Let's go to my phone here, and I got all these apps, right? Airbnb. You know how often I use Airbnb? Once a year. Amazon Alexa. I got 2 Alexas. I barely use them. Fly Delta. I use it only when I... See, creating an app is very easy. Getting people to use the app is very hard. If you can't get... I don't care how good your app is. Like I said, this Delta app, it probably cost them a few $1 million. Airbnb, these are good apps. Uber. But if you create an app that people don't have a consistent use for, they're not going to use it. Damn, Kane Connections. I can attest to what the camera said. I'm 26 and I just recently started having sex sober with my girlfriend. A lot of stuff is going down. Thank you, Kane Connections, for the $5 super chat in the confession. Black Caesar, it appears that courses is the fast lane to success nowadays. I guess it's all about the content that you produce. Courses, all right, let's go ahead and draw some conclusions here. If you take a course that is tactical, that says, hey, do this. This is how to sell on Amazon FBA. This is how to use YouTube. When you get one of those courses, use it as quick as possible because they're tactical. This is why I stopped trying to do YouTube courses, because I will be talking about it, but it changes so quick. Like, it's part of the 100 hours, the side hustle starter pack. I got a YouTube course in there and people have found value. But the thing is, that course doesn't work as well as it was when it was created 4 years ago, because YouTube has changed. Eric Wynn, yes, Jabril and 8 other YouTubes moving to how, all right, let's take I'll use me. I had this hankering to live in a high rise. Beautiful view of the city, because I stayed in this really swank hotel and I was like, I want to live in a high rise. But I have a great deal of self-awareness. So I was like, let me rent some high rises first and experience it before I make this big ass commitment to living in a high rise. Well, I got in there, and the first few days it was amazing. It was like, yeah. We're gonna do this. Then after the shine came off, it took me 10 minutes to get to my car. It took me 7 minutes to get downstairs to walk my dog. It was just like, whoa. This ain't what I thought it was gonna be. What I like is the view. And I'm cool. Every time I get that little itch, I just go rent a place, spend a weekend, a few days there. It's gone. That's all I wanted. I didn't want the whole experience of living in a high rise. I just wanted that view here and there. So I'm going to make this big commitment financially to just get a view. It wasn't worth it for me. App game. Yeah, because the thing is, you could take a business model that everyone knows about. It ain't no secret. And all you have to do is add extreme customer service to it and you'll win. You don't have to create something brand new. Books. What got me here, my book. Was creating the book brand new? Nope. Creating the business book brand new? Nope. Creating a book about storage auctions was brand new? Yeah. But the book, the business, that's been done. You don't have to come up with some wild new special secret sauce plan. You just have Uber. How long did we have taxis before Uber? Decades. Uber just came up with a better taxi. Uber convinced me I hate taxis. They're dirty. They're unreliable. You call one, they may show up at some time. Uber, here it comes. Oh, it's outside. Let's go get in it. Uber just made the whole experience of calling a car precision, easy, fast, and cheap. They just made being a taxi better. And let's go to the Google machine. Let's see what Uber's valuation is. Hold on a second. Uber valuation. Woo! Uber is valued at $76 billion. And how Uber could justify 120 billion valuation. Now, let's see. Uber was started in California. In what year? 2009. And Lyft was started 2012. Airbnb was started 2008. So let's talk about that real quick. Uber had 2009, 2010, 2011. Uber had a 4-year head start on Lyft. And that's why I think if Lyft had started first, they would be in Uber's position. It was because this was very radical. It was very hard to displace Uber, and they've been through all this crazy stuff. All right. All right. Cool. Upstart development. I recommend a conference that you know about in your industry. The thing is, a conference doesn't have to be huge to have value. The first Vid Summit I went to, I think there was 200 people there. Tremendous value. You know what? You may have more value going on meetup.com and creating a meetup about the thing that you want to do. Seriously. The relationships you build outside of because I saw people last Vid Summit, they didn't even go to the talks. They were out there networking in the hallways. That's all they did. David Duncan, the side hustle starter kit, 147. And there's all kinds of resale stuff in there. Dang, Anthony Johnson, you're a beast. High margins, that's a beautiful thing. Dumas, most computer science programs don't teach app development. It's an elective to do it. You need programming basics, logic, and problem solving. App development is usually a gimmick that comps use to stay relevant. Wow. Yeah, Bill Master 66. Headed to Dallas next week for the largest real estate wholesaling event with Mac. And that's somebody. Now, I will say that dude has done a tremendous job of marketing himself. And the first thing he did was his YouTube videos from the very first one were top quality. They looked like money. And he's got marketing and some other stuff. He's done a fantastic job of putting himself out there. And I think he's Jamaican. You will see this over and over again with Jamaicans, West Indians, people from St. Kitts. Not so much from Dominica, but you will see this with a lot of island people that just come over here and dominate when they get into something. So that's very interesting. All right, this is the end of my rant. I just had to get that off my chest because entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, but it's the big buzzword right now. You got a bunch of people who want to be entrepreneurs for the sake of being an entrepreneur, and they don't know nothing about the hard work that goes into it. Because since 2009, I've told you guys the truth. There are a lot of people who's like, well, tell them the storage auctions are that hard. I was like, I have to tell them because they run into some stuff. They're going to like, well, he could have told me about this. Why'd he lie to me? All right, Quentin. Oh, man, a shutdown hotel. Indians got those hotels on lock. You notice that? All right. I mean, the big thing is what I do makes me happy. I want you to think about it. I've been doing YouTube videos for 9 years and 8 months. There ain't no way I could have did this long if I didn't like it. And it brings up all kinds of issues in my personal life because this is a new office. This is a YouTube office, right? Or the YouTube studio, and it's off the main bedroom. And somebody wanted this office because below this is the basement. That's where I have the green screens and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna start another channel, and up on the second floor, there's a blue room, and that's gonna be a studio. This is the reason I got this big ass house. I mean, there's only 2 of us and a dog. We could easily live in half the space, but this house was bought with a purpose. And that's one of the reasons I'm so happy living here. What? 30,000 Indians came into trucking industry in 2 years ago. You better watch out. You're going to look down the road, you're going to see a guy in the turban driving the truck. Good Lord, man. I didn't know that. Because see, where I'm heading is, it's just pure internet businesses now. That's just for my future. I don't really foresee me doing anything physical other than a book. That's why you want the 14-bedroom hotel. No, there's so many ways to make money. But on this entrepreneurship thing, I was reading Inc. magazine when I was in high school because I had made the connection that for me to have more of a life, I needed to be an entrepreneur. I remember, and this is why I hate the N word. I was telling my uncle, I was 11 years old. I was on the porch. It was a nice Alabama day. He was cutting my hair. And I said, Uncle James, I want to be an entrepreneur. You know what he said to me? This man who had served 20 years in the Navy, this man who used to work for General Dynamics, who could have been anything he wanted. He said, niggas don't have that type of intellect. And ever since then, I've hated any version of that word. Because I knew if my Uncle James thought more of himself, because in that moment, at 11 years of age, I realized he didn't think much of himself. He could have did anything. And that's why I hate the word, and that's why I put it out there, because it's funny. And you know, whenever I date a black chick, I have to have this conversation with us. Like, I hate that word. Don't ever use it on me. And I had someone use it. I got up, got my coat, and left. And she never saw me again. And she called and she begged and she whined. It ain't that big of a thing. And then I remember my last conversation with her. I said, I told you don't call me that shit. And I told the story with my Uncle James. And anybody that uses that language, you don't really think that much of yourself. And if you don't think that much of yourself, you ain't going to be with me. You have a nice life. Goodbye. And she was bad. She was bad. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on a second. This may take a minute. Because I came across it the other day because I got all these Gmail accounts and all these drives, and it is it's kind of wild. All right, you're not gonna open up. Nah, it's not in this one. I don't know where, because I came across it the other day. If it'll be up on another channel, so I don't think I can find it. But I don't play with that, and that's why I've been having this conversation with some people for 10 years, and some of you know it's like, look, he don't like that word, and I appreciate you people. Oh, let's see what y'all talking about here. This is all right. Folks are trip. Could be Byron. I've seen a lot of stuff with the political action. Politics could stop that. Eric Williams, 15 years, plenty of time to make money, 10K off plus 2 drugs, not driving. Atlanta is extremely ratchet. It's wow. Chris Monroe, whoa, post-traumatic slavery. There's a lot of people who think like that, man. There are many people who think just like that. Thank you, Kirby. They're still in business because of legislation, taxes, and all the hoops that you have to jump through. Yeah, the upstart development. There ain't no reason to use that, but you just, some people. I really don't have a lot of friends who use it, and the ones who use it, they don't use it around me. I will leave you. Thank you, Tiffany Posh. Just go as a native, you just have to avoid the ratchetness of Atlanta. Where I live, there's you want to hear something funny? I don't know exactly where he lives, but Waka Flocka, woo wee, he lives around here, and I've met him in the Flying Biscuit. Extremely articulate, nice dude, very cool. The Waka Flocka that lives around here ain't nothing like his stage persona. And you just don't, there ain't a lot of ratchetness around here. These city planners here have been working on ridding the area of low-income people. I've been in the neighborhood 11 years, and I've seen it. Every low-income apartment complex has been raised, and something upscale has been replaced. Every one of them. There's literally 2 on Roswell Road, and another one. That's it. There's just 3. There used to be 12, and they're gonna get rid of them sooner or later. Tiffany, you on your hustle drive? Cool. Byron Randall, I never even knew such a thing existed. Thank you, Bill Master. Mr. Black Culture, most rappers are 2 people. I would say that because I met the dude and talked to him, and it was like, you the same dude? I mean, it was that distinct. Chris Monroe, Waka Flocka is very intelligent. That's mostly an act. I would act to get super rich too. Hey, he lives around here. He and his wife, and I think they have 2 kids. And there's some other people. Theo Ratcliffe, I know where he lives. God, what was the quarterback? Cordell Stewart. He lives around here, and I know it because I see him all the time. So I know they live around here. I never even knew it existed. Oh, this is, well, I guess you would call that a form of gentrification because they getting rid of them. They are moving them out of here like you. There's like literally 2 or 3 homeless people around here, and they don't ask for money. They just look at you. It's very interesting. All right, so I ain't selling anything today. I just had, thanks for coming out. I had to get this off my chest because I don't really speak well to the millennial people because I'm not going to say what you want to hear. And I know that costs me money, and I can live with that. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And this whole notion of being an entrepreneur has been prostituted by millennials. They're the ones with the Lambos. They're the one with the courses. All of these folks who have prostituted entrepreneur are millennials. Grant Cardone, he's like, look, you got to work. Gary V, you got to work. This dude, Valuetainment, you got to work. So, you know, it's crazy. All right. I will see you guys later.